Okay.
Cheers.
Cheers. L'chaim.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to another episode of your favorite podcast ever, The Slumber Party. Thank you so much for sleeping with us. We are low energy today.
Very.
So,
but we're going to be fun in like 20 minutes.
Yeah, give us like 15 after this glass of, champagne goes down and settles in all the right ways. How are we feeling, Kat?
I'm okay. I'm ready for this to hit my nervous system and my bloodstream.
Yeah, same. I'm ready for it to hit my bloodstream. It's a full moon today, guys. I feel like there's always an astrological thing whenever
I feel like there's something happening every day.
Obviously. I do feel like the first week of July has been odd. Do you feel this way?
Insanely odd.
Yeah.
But also the last week of June it's just like a 2 weeks of, but Mercury retrograde is coming up soon, and I think we're in like the
pre-shadow phase of Mercury retrograde.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, the last 2 weeks have been, I would say, me learning boundaries with family, because I love my family. Don't get it twisted. Never a negative, always a positive with boundaries. And calling Kat or voice memoing Kat. Honestly, if me and Kat put together like a vocal, an audiobook of all of our voice memos, I feel like it'd do numbers.
That would be its own like diary. For sure.
Yeah.
I'd love that for us.
So, shall we start with our light as a feather, stiff as a board?
Yes, you go first.
Me go first. Okay. Do I do my stiff as a board first?
Whichever one you're feeling.
I'm feeling stiff as a board.
Okay.
If you follow me on Instagram and TikTok, you know that I had one of the crazy wildest days 2 days ago, and I documented it, and everybody was like, girl, I don't know who has your voodoo doll right now. But they gotta put it down, because they're winning. I don't know who put the Malocchio on me, but you win, you got me. I woke up like exactly at the time that I was supposed to be at the place that I was supposed to be at, which I do like mommy and me classes on the Upper East Side 3 days a week, because a friend of mine is the COO, and it started during the pandemic, and now I just kind of do it for like fun and like a little bit of like going out cash. Like, what am I doing 3 days a week in the mornings from 9:30 to 12:30? Like, why not? It's fun. And I was supposed to be there at 9:45. I woke up at 9:38. And I get there, I start making my way back to my apartment. As I get off the train, I see a group of like, three, they're crackheads. 3 crackheads. Okay. And I'm like, okay, whatever. There's a part of my block where it has that happening. And then I'm like, oh my God, that man looks to have his, penis out. So I'm like, interesting, let me just mind my damn business, right? And then I said, that looked funny. Not to sound like a little whore, but I've seen a couple penises in my day.
Anna, please.
I've seen a couple. And that didn't look right. So I take another gander over that way, and I said, that looks like something I would see on Grey's Anatomy.
Right.
This man's intestines were slipping out of his body. And I'm like, oh, this man is dead. Because the pose that he was in on this chair, on this sidewalk, in this sun, I was like, oh, he's deceased. People are walking by and I'm like, maybe I'm the problem. I see clearly a dead man. I'm like, you know what? My eyes are deceiving me. Maybe I'm wrong. I immediately went into like, I'm a stupid person. Like, I just don't know. I just don't know. People are walking past and start to notice. And I'm like, okay, so something's off.
Right.
I call the ambulance. I call 911. I'm like, am I being dramatic? Maybe I just don't know what I'm seeing, because I've never seen a dead person before unless they've been stuffed and embalmed and in a casket. Right. So I'm like, I don't know. Sirens start erupting. I'm like, this is a lot. I did this. I'm the drama. And I'm looking at this man, and he is slumped. I'm like, this is actually really sad. This is somebody's brother, son, baby,
Yeah.
The sirens are going off. Tell me how. This man with his intestines out of his bidet starts moving.
He's immortal.
I was like, you know what? I did my due diligence. I don't gotta wait to see how the apocalypse starts.
No.
So I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. But he started moving. He started moving his hand and changing the way he was sitting. Okay, I get back to my apartment. Immediately start feeling a little bit of the burning in the downstairs area and feeling a constant urge to pee. I said, maybe it was because I was just traumatized.
Yeah.
Let me just pee it out.
Yeah.
I get up, I start doing things, and I'm like, gotta pee again. Silly me, too much coffee. Let me pee it out. Stand up, start doing my makeup, gotta pee again. Now it's 10 times in an hour that I have peed, and I've only peed a little bit, and I'm feeling this like pressure to pee. And I'm like, why do I feel so uncomfortable? And I said, the last time I felt like this, I had a UTI. I had a UTI. Okay.
Were you holding in your pee for too long? Because that just real quick for any men who are watching, we can get those from anything, but a lot of times it's because like we've held in our pee for like hours and hours.
Well, I'm a champ at holding in my pee. I'm not gonna lie. Like I've always been like that.
Okay.
I've always been like that. I actually think I look down on men partially because they can't hold in their pee. This has been full out fights, by the way, between me and Dano, me and my fiance. He's like, I have to pee. And he goes in between buildings. I'm like, I'm looking down on you right now. Like, you can't hold it.
Just hold it in.
You can't go into a store. I'm like, there's children around.
Do a Kegel with your wiener.
Yeah. Do a Kegel with your urethra. I don't know. So I immediately put in an order to my grocery store for a 3-liter jug of cranberry juice.
Right.
Unsweetened.
To wash it out.
Yeah. Probiotics. Also got some dried apricots. And I got something else. I forgot what it was. Anyways, I continue on my day. Walking my dogs. Finally get on the phone with my mom. I blocked my family for the week, so we were kind of catching up. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go to last episode. I have my AirPods in. My dogs are acting crazy. And out of nowhere, I get... Bro, this was a movie scene. I get pelted in the face with a soccer ball in the park so hard that there was like a moment of silence for everyone around me. And the guys that were doing it, like, actually did not want to come up to me. And they were so shy because they thought I was going to turn around and scream at them. That's how I knew that it was hard. And I had like a little bit of a welt on my face.
No.
A little bit, yeah. And I had to come home and I had to ice it. I looked fine the next day, but I was like, okay, this is too many things in one day for me to not feel like somebody
is working.
Okay?
Take her out the freezer. What are you doing?
So I'm like, whoever's got my little pincushion voodoo doll, enough.
There's about 3 people that I assume have done work on me before. And I'm over here like, I wish them well. I shouldn't be wishing them well.
I wish them well. In hell. So that is my stiff as a board was that day.
How are you today?
I'm doing much, I'll get to my light as a fetter after you do your stiff as a board. Right. Or light as a feather.
We'll do my stiff as a board because, okay, how do we start this?
We're starting it really hot for this episode.
First of all, I am a child. I just want everyone to know I am a child. I am a grown child. The end. Okay? When little girls sometimes, they cut their own hair, and you're like, that is a hot fucking mess. But you understand, because they're little girls. I am not a little girl. However, I was looking... Okay, so here's what happened. I had dyed the money pieces in the front, okay? Bleach fucking blonde. So my hair is recovering from being bleach blonde. And so there's little pieces that are just a hot mess. And I saw that some of it was breaking. And so I said, I should just cut this myself. And so now we have bangs. But they're not real bangs. But they're bangs. Anyway, if anybody needs a haircut, call me because I am your girl.
The side bangs that you got going on right now?
We're just not...
That you're hiding?
It's this.
Cat! baby bang videos where people try to give themselves baby bangs? Oh, it'll grow.
Well, I will say this. I did have bangs last year, okay, and it was this, and
Yes.
it was here, and that was September of last year, and it's now July, so it's grown a bit.
Oh, wow.
And it's also gotten cut like 3-4 times.
Wow.
So I do have faith that it will grow, but I will tell you this: I will probably go back and trim them again because I have a problem. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well,
honestly though, I think when they grow out in like another 2 weeks, like just a little bit more, I actually think they're going to be adorable.
Yeah. I love your positive reinforcement.
I am. I'm very positive. Very positive. I mean, listen, but let me tell you something.
Yeah.
If my hair that has literally never grown past a certain length my entire life can grow past it.
Really?
Oh, because I've been listening to things that you've told me about hair.
Stop it.
Kat has been me and my fiance's hair guru. I sent my fiance, well, he sent himself, but I'm taking credit. I sent my fiance to Kat's hair girl, and he came back looking like...
It looked great.
First of all, she did like the amazing Dominican blowout straightening, and he came back looking like a Puerto Rican Chris Angel. It was amazing. It was giving if Chris Angel and like Cat Williams had a baby. It was my fiance. It was great, but his hair had never been so healthy. Oh my God.
Really?
That's him. He knew I was talking about him. He got my thing.
Well, so she's a trichologist, which is basically like a hair doctor. So she'll like look like, I cannot lie to, like, this is going to be a conversation. I already know. I cannot lie to her. Anything I put in my hair, even if I wash it out, okay, I go to her, she'll be like, did you put coconut oil in your hair? And I'll be like, no. And she'll be like, yes, you did. And I'm like, how do you know the specific fucking oil that I put in my hair?
It's so wild.
Witch. So, I'm like, why do you know?
How do you know the potions I'm using?
And she's like, you can't do that. And recently I had to cut my hair because, someone sent me the evil eye.
Ew.
And I had to chop off, what was happening. I still have more to go. I still have like 3 or 4 inches, but she didn't want to cut off like 8 inches. So we did like 4 inches, and then we have like 4 more to go.
Mm-hmm.
But she's incredible. I mean, I fuck up my hair at home constantly, but I put my faith in her, and then she'll fix it for me.
But I'm telling you, even right now, like the way Dano's hair looks right now, and it's been weeks
and
since
he only went once.
He only went once. The way his curls look right now, are phenomenal.
Yeah. I took my friend to her because she had gotten a like really shitty haircut in London. And so I said, look, my hairdresser, she's not scissor happy. If you tell her you want to grow your hair, she will help you grow your hair, right? She trimmed her hair, like, to fix it. I swear to God, not even 2 weeks later, it looked longer. She goes, no, my hair's growing. I said, no, it is. Like, it literally grew a lot in those 2 weeks. Like, that, like, it was crazy. Yeah. So, no, I always tell her she has, like, the hands of an angel. Truly.
It's insane.
Blessed, yeah.
Insane.
Yeah.
I can't wait to go to her.
Yes.
I can't wait to go.
God. Yes,
I'm definitely going to go. Yeah. Definitely going to go. All right, what is your stiff as a board?
That was my stiff as a board.
That was your stiff as a board. What was your light as a feather?
Well, no, you go, because I went and then yeah.
Okay. My light as a feather is getting, first of all, okay, it's kind of a package deal.
Okay.
My light as a feather is the day after, or even the day of, I think, that I had all this stuff go down. I had a meeting with my team.
Yes.
Now. And the day after, I took, first of all, after that horrific traumatic day, I took 2 melatonin, I took a bath, I got straight to bed, was in bed by 10:30. Something about me that everyone should know is that I'm a night owl. I do my best work at night. I do my best writing at night. My brain is so crystal clear at night. Like, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
You're one of the only people that, like, I can text at 3 a.m. Because people text me at 3 a.m. because they're like, I know Kat is up. But I can't text anybody else except for you.
Yeah. I'm up and like I do not go to sleep before 3 or before like 4. But when you have to wake up in the morning, it's difficult. And also I love the morning, so I'm like I wish I could have both, but I can't.
I know.
So I went to bed. I woke up so graciously. I woke up naturally at like 6:37.
Oh.
Got myself together, took my time, and that meeting that I had with my team, I woke up so grateful because this team has been put together by my childhood friend Dominic. And Dominic and I grew up. Dominic was always, and just always know when I mention Dominic, this is somebody that is going to be so massive and so big because Dominic has always,
so talented.
He's so talented. He's always ran his own ship. Like no matter what he was doing, even from, like 14 years old, he was going to the middle school and became their head, director.
Wow.
For the middle school play at 14, 15 years old and handled it. Dominic runs RAFCO Management and RAFCO Productions, where he runs a massive company on Long Island for community theater, for teens, for adults. He does collegiate programs to help people audition to get into the colleges of their choices. Now he is managing influencers, actors, singers, artists, all of the above. And killing it. And he said, like a year or so ago, let me because he was working for an agency also in the city. He said, let me take on your account, because I was really struggling. Like I had all these followers and I had everyone thinking like Diana's got it going on. And I'm like, guys, I'm struggling. Like nobody's paying me. Nobody's helping me. Like my content isn't hitting. TikTok isn't letting my stuff be seen. I don't know what I need to do. He said, let me help you. A few months go by. Yesterday we got into a meeting with, Gabby Vitale, who is somebody that I referred to him to hire, who is one of my friend's sisters, who has been unbelievable, managing my socials, my accounts, brands, and everything. And he brought in this entire team to help with my everything. And I've never felt so prioritized and taken care of. And I've been fighting for the last, I don't even know how long, I guess maybe since I was a child, to try to feel this heard and prioritized. And I was always looking upward. I have to get into this room. I have to get into this agency. I have to get into this door. I have to get into this company. And all I needed to do was look beside me to my peers. And I really just want everyone to know, sometimes the key to what you're looking for isn't in a room that you don't have access to. Sometimes it's building with people next to you. And I think we forget that, because I've said this before. Whenever I have gotten into those rooms with really successful people with millions of dollars and whatever, and you think it's so flashy and you think it's so easy and fun, their closest connections are always people that they refer to as somebody I've known for 10, 20 years. Oh, I used to go out with her 30 years ago. Oh, wait, da-da-da. And it's because they looked side to side. Exactly.
Yeah. I don't know if you've ever seen I don't know if it was a documentary or a YouTube clip or something, but it was all these people who worked at Sears together. And they all made a pact that if they got famous, they would all help each other out. Yeah. And it's Salt and Pepper. It's Kid and Play. It's Martin Lawrence. Wow. And they I didn't even know these people fucking
knew each other.
Okay. Yeah. But they started together at Sears and then basically helped each other out.
That's exactly it. Yeah. And I just kind of had this moment yesterday where I was like, oh, all of the things that I've been working towards are right here. I just have to accept that this is the package that they're coming in. It's not going to come from somebody who I think is a big shot. We are the big shots. Right. We're just we're not perceived as that yet. Yeah. But everything we were doing, I mean, for I was like, yeah, this is stuff that I've always done on my own. Mm-hmm. And to feel like I'm heard and prioritized, I was like, here we go. This is it. Here we go. All right, engines started, engines loaded. Yes. Let's go. So that's my light as a feather for sure. Where I'm like, okay, I'm getting chills. I feel the fruits of my labor finally.
I love this so much.
Yeah. So
I really do.
I hope that inspires somebody. Give me your light as a feather.
So my light as a feather, honestly, is just being here today. I I like needed,
A cleanse.
just some girl time in general, just like friendship time, just to not be alone or at home or just venting to my man constantly every day. Poor thing.
Poor guy.
Poor guy. Plus, like, I've had my period. It was a nightmare. And it's like 2 weeks early.
Interesting. Stress-induced.
I know.
Stress-induced.
I know.
Can I ask you, what is your favorite remedy for when you have your period or your cramps? Like, what do you feel like helps the best?
A long shit. I'm kidding.
Honestly, though, because you have a specific, we have a specific hormone that's heightened during that time that makes us have to go to the bathroom more.
Yeah. I just need my favorite chocolate,
Yes.
ginger ale,
Yes.
and I need, like, there's always, like, a specific thing I want to watch when I'm on my period. And it's always something I've seen a million fucking times.
Comfort.
Yeah.
Something comforting.
A lot of times I will do, like, a John Mulaney marathon of just, like, all his, like,
I love
Netflix
John
specials.
Mulaney too.
You love John Mulaney?
I love John Mulaney.
First of all, I have a friend who used to date him.
Really? But do you know why we like John Mulaney? Because we're performers.
Okay.
He is a performer.
He is
a very seasoned, like, when he does his stand-up comedy, because I said this to Daniel, I think John Mulaney is, like, probably my favorite comedian.
I think he's my favorite.
And he was like, you like that type of structure and you don't like a casual performer. You like a performer. And I was like, yeah.
That's exactly
what it is.
Exactly.
I love that.
The special he has out now on Netflix titled Baby J, I saw it twice in person. I actually have a story about the first time. We can talk about that.
Yeah.
Of, like, why I saw it twice. But he's just great. His jokes are going to hit 50 years from now, which I really like.
Right.
I think, when the time comes and they need someone new at SNL, I think that John Mulaney and Tina Fey should team up together and take over SNL, because I think when the two of them, and I believe it was separate times, but each time that they were, like,
the head writers,
that's when SNL was hitting the most.
I gotta say, when I toured recently the SNL and 30 Rock area, shout out to Brie over at SNL. She gave me a full tour of 30 Rock. And I could not believe how much smaller it is in person.
Oh, it's very tiny.
Yeah, I'm like, wow, the camera is something insane, you know?
Yeah.
I always knew it was small, but, like, you really don't see, I felt like my, like, high school theater.
Yeah.
My high school theater stage was bigger.
It does give, like, gym, like, middle school.
But, that's probably what makes it so good.
Yeah.
Like, of course there's pressure, but it's like, there's no, there's no, this is a metaphor, but there's no white tablecloths. It's not, even though you're at 30 Rock and it's SNL, it's like, nah, we're grungy as hell. We're scrappy.
I like the audience, like, where if you've ever gone to see SNL, but I think this also it's kind of the same as, like, a late night talk show, but also when they did sitcoms and they filmed in front of an audience, which, by the way, I left out. I Love Lucy was the first one filmed in front of a live audience.
So cool.
Yeah. It's very small, and I think that's, like, the nostalgia that they still have. Like, they film in front of a live audience.
Yeah.
And it's a small audience, and it's people who actually, like, want to be there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm glad they're still around. I miss Mad TV. There's a lot of people on TikTok who create characters, and I see people saying, "Oh, this should be on SNL," but that's not SNL is from Mad TV.
You know, I only watched Mad TV a few times. Like, I don't really remember it too much.
Okay, so Mad TV had like recurring characters. It wasn't like an SNL where it's like a different show every week. It's like you wanted to see what this character was gonna go through or talk about this week on Mad TV.
That's cool.
Some of them, you know, they'd only last like maybe like 1 or 2
1 month,
yeah,
or something.
But there were a lot of characters that you just be like recurring.
Wow.
And I think they should start a new Mad TV, maybe call it something else, but hire a lot of these skit comedian writers on TikTok because they're fucking killing it.
They're amazing.
Yeah.
They're amazing. That girl Delaney,
Yeah.
who's dating, what's his face?
Yeah.
Yeah, that girl Delaney I think is really good. There's a bunch of Brianna, whatever. My friend Caroline over at Barstool.
Yeah.
Caroline Bainywicks. She's great. She's really great.
There's that new dude. He has a character named Chit. Have you seen that one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is there a black purse in here? I was like, what the hell is going on?
Because it really sounded like he said, "Is there a black person here?" But he did. He said, "Is there a black purse in here?"
And then when you watch it back the second time, you see how his inflections are accurate, though.
Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think that there's... So let's talk about social media, which is going to be a big topic for us today,
Yeah,
guys.
that's a good segue. Go ahead.
Yeah, so... first of all, let me just say that there are so many talented people on social media.
Absolutely.
And so many people on social media that at first you're like, oh, it's funny content, it's funny, haha. And then they go away for a little bit. And then the next time you see them is in a commercial for their new show, is in a commercial for their new YouTube deal, for their new Netflix deal, for their new book deal, for their new whatever. I mean, there was this one girl, I forgot the name. Oh, God, I'm so sorry. I forgot the name of her page. She used to be the different versions of you on your period.
I know who you're talking about, and I don't know her name.
I know.
But yes.
And she is in a new, I want to say, Amazon Prime show.
Wow.
Michael B. Jordan loved her skits during the pandemic, reached out to her, became like a big brother to her, she said. And said, you know, I really feel like you have something here, so I'm going to look out for you.
That's amazing.
And look, a couple years later, she's got her own thing.
Wow, congratulations.
That woman with that series, Who the Hell Did I Marry or whatever?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
She's got a book deal and they're transpiring it into a show. You know? Think of it also this way. If you do something outside of social media and it still blows up within it, Jeanette McCurdy, who was in who was in iCarly, as Sam and Cat on Nickelodeon, she fell off the face of the earth. She wrote that book, I'm Glad My Mom Died, and people talked about it all over on social media.
My mom loved that book.
And now they're developing it into a show, and Jennifer Aniston is starring in it.
Wow, I didn't know that.
I cannot explain how much it is important for you to give yourself visibility if you are passionate about something and if you feel stagnant. Social media, like, I want to say changed my life. I feel like saved it in a sense, not in like a death way, but in like gave me a trajectory that made me feel like I wasn't worthless or what I was doing wasn't pointless. Not like I was finding my worth within people's acceptance of me, but that when I would post something and people like enjoyed it, I was like, see, like I knew I was right. Like I knew I had something, you know?
You know something? I think about this a lot with celebrities. There's some people who just like, I just want to make art and I want a bunch of people to see it, but I don't want to like know that they saw it. And then there were some people who just did not grow up with or feeling loved, that they actually needed that fame.
Yeah.
And I think about Mariah Carey and I think about Barbara Streisand. Never met Auntie Babs, but I have met Mariah, and she is top 3, one of the nicest people I've ever met. And what's funny is everyone I know who's met her says the same thing. And I just think she is so incredibly kind to her fans because I think it still hits her that like people love me. Wow. Because she had such a shitty relationship with her mom. Barbra Streisand, also shitty relationship with her mom. Mariah's mom told her she would never sing as good as her. Bitch! Anyway, Barbra Streisand's mom.
I don't even gotta hear Mariah Carey's mom singing. I know she's a damn lie.
Exactly. Barbra Streisand's mom, who was also a singer and I think an actress, told Babs that she wasn't pretty enough to be this famous singer. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. Anyway, and then Jennifer Aniston and her mom, her mom told her she wasn't pretty enough to be an actress.
Which is hysterical because she was literally the sex symbol of the late 90s and early 2000s. I mean, for 10 years, nobody was topping Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think that's why Mariah loves her fans the way she does. I think that's why Barbra Streisand loves her fans the way that she does, because they wanted that so bad from their mom. I actually think it still shocks them when they meet people that love and adore them, and I think they appreciate it a lot more.
Yeah,
too.
100%.
But I never experienced that with my mom, but I have experienced that with
family
other
members,
family, with friends,
yes,
who are no longer friends, things like that, of just feeling like you're an outcast and you don't belong. And it's so funny, which brings me into, whenever I tell people that, like, I do music and stuff, their first thing is always like, oh, is it real competitive? Do you feel competition? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I don't feel competition with other singers.
Never.
Musicians. I really don't. I feel like we speak the same language.
Right.
That other artists don't speak.
Right.
And in fact, the only people who I feel ever try to quote unquote compete with me are people who don't create, because they're always the first to be like, when I was in 4th grade, I was in a band.
Wait, no, you are so onto something, because there was this, I mean, I don't want to take away from what you're saying.
No. Go
there
ahead.
was this one time I was out with my friend, Serena Joy. Okay. This is a couple episodes back.
Yes.
I named her Serena Joy, okay? There's a very close friend. I grew up with her, and I love her. I love her to this day. We just can't be friends right now, right? She always wanted to be a singer, and I always supported her. I never felt like I was in competition with her. One night we went out in Long Beach, Long Island, not California. Relax. Her and this other girl became friends, and they, she was telling her friend, like, yeah, I'm moving because I'm going to be a singer. And she's like, oh yeah, Diana sings too. And I was like, yeah. And the two of them, like, they start singing in front of people, like trying to, like, cause a scene. Yeah. I'm not that girl. I don't like to do that. I've never liked to do that. Same. There are some people who I even went to, like, the New York Film Academy with, where they're just, like, out on, like, the steps and like, ha! I'm like, bro, we get it.
Couldn't be me, love. Couldn't be
right.
me.
We get, like, shy. You're trying really hard. Like, I just always felt like if you got it, you don't gotta do that.
Yeah.
And, like, it was just, it's such an uncomfortable feeling. And then I guess the other girl who I didn't know started following me on Instagram, which, like, I wasn't popping at the time, but she didn't take me seriously when I said I was a singer.
Okay.
But every single thing on my page was all me in the studio, me singing, me writing, and who I was with and whatever. And at the time, I was outside.
Yeah.
With people.
Yeah.
That people would know.
Yeah.
And once she, like, saw my page and, like, my other friend, then they started, like, singing more. Okay. And they were like, she was like, I love your page. Like, so what do you do? Like, where do you go? Who do you hang out with? How do you get there? Like, you know what? Maybe we should hang out. Maybe we should do this. And I'm like, babe, I hate to tell you this. Like, I'm struggling on my own right now.
Yeah.
I don't got time to bring somebody else up with me at the moment. Like, I got to put my oxygen mask on myself, and then maybe I'll, like what we were talking about before. But if I'm going to reach for my peers, I'm going to reach for someone right here.
Yeah.
I don't even have enough oxygen for me right now.
Yeah.
But the way that it was, like, I felt like this weird moment. I felt, like, uncomfortable. Like, I was like, wait, are you guys trying to, like, get in my face right now? I don't know. And I'm like, we're not, do your thing. Like, it's not I don't know. It was very uncomfortable. Very, very uncomfortable situation.
I always think, to me, if I tell you I'm a singer and a songwriter, and you tell me that when you were 3 years old, you sang Mariah Carey songs in your shower. It's such a weird thing to me because I'm like, that's a hobby. This is my career.
Right.
And it's like, if I walked up to Mark Jacobs and I was like, hey, Marky Mark, when I was in high school, I used to hem my uniform skirt. So me and you, we're the same.
We're like siblings.
No. Literally fucking no. I actually don't care. I'm sorry. And then it's like, because it's me, I always, like I want to make people feel seen. So I'm always like, oh, that's so interesting. And then in the back of my mind, I'm like, why are you saying this though?
Right.
Is there a point to this? I slightly feel uncomfortable. I know some people, like, they're trying to relate.
Right.
But, like, I don't find that relatable. And then there are those people who, because they don't have creative jobs, and I noticed this happens with one particular job. Whenever I meet teachers and they find out that
Continue.
Whenever they find out that I do music, they're always like, well, I'm just a teacher. Here's what I want to tell you. The kids spend more time with you than they do their parents. Your job is very important. And I feel like as a creative, whenever I meet teachers, it's like their instinct to downplay what they do. And I'm like, no. Because the only reason why I know how to play 5 instruments is because somebody taught me.
Right. Can I tell you,
Do you know what I mean?
I feel like I've had either that experience or the complete polar opposite experience with teachers.
I've had that too, but I wanted to be positive first before.
No, because teachers, I think that the fact that teachers are not paid the same as doctors is the biggest fucking inequity in the history of the world. Because
they deserve way more.
Not only do they deserve way more, but also now, like, I don't know what it's like in New York State. I mean, other states, but in New York State right now, they're also requiring a master's degree in order to stay in education or something like that. I have no idea. But teachers 1000% should be paid way more.
Yeah.
I will say I've never gotten more judgment or condescending comments than people that are teachers. Or instructors or voice teachers or whatever. It was my biggest fear to be a teacher and be a voice teacher. I took that as an insult because the way that people approached me and my dreams growing up, the first people to knock them down was always teachers.
I find that people who work in the medical field tend to be very condescending about what I do.
Medical field?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes.
Why?
I don't know. The only person who wasn't was this surgeon dude that I met at like a restaurant, and like we just became cool. And I remember his friend was trying to like downplay me. His friend who's like also a doctor, but this guy's a surgeon. And he's like, actually, she uses more of her brain than we do. So, and I was like, yeah, you tell him. You tell your friend. Yeah. But yeah.
It is, I think also being an artist right now is so increasingly hard because I know what you said before where people are like, well, I just want to create, why do I have to be on social media and stuff? And I just saw a video a couple minutes ago that where this girl was like, bring back like the mysterious era of artists, where like, why do I have to whore myself out on the internet in order for people to think that my music is worth it? She's like, all I do is make music. That's all I'm worth. Like, I don't have much of an outgoing internet personality, which there's a difference here. You know what I mean? Like, I don't speak on the internet the same way that I speak in real life. So it's like, you do kind of have to put on a bit of like a little puppet show. It's true though. And like, there was another girl who like, I saw both these videos today. What are the odds of this? Where she was on the phone with her label and she was like, listen, like, I'm posting. It's just not working. She's like, but I'm a musician. Like, I'm not a social media marketer.
Right.
And like, I can't just like focus on promoting my music and not making my music. Which like, this is the most frustrating thing I think about the internet right now for creatives, where I got past this, but before TikTok, when it was just Instagram, I was like, I don't get it. Like, what do I do right now? Like, how can I do this? Like, I just want to sing. I just want to sing, bro. Like, And now I've kind of tried to figure out a way where I can just keep that creation like true, but it is so annoying if you're like an artist and a creative right now.
It is.
And also to do what you have to do and try to get out of that feeling of judging yourself for feeling cringe, and also get out of that feeling of knowing like your family and friends are watching these cringe things you do, which I think is a great segment into we have this conversation about feeling surveilled by friends and family who see what you're doing online.
Yeah. Following me, there are some people who follow me for surveillance and not for support. And I find that to be very strange. I do think you need to see a doctor. Because if I don't like someone or I'm not interested in them, I am not going to follow them. In fact, I'm probably going to mute them or block them. I don't want to, like Tanya Harding, who is an ex-friend, that's her alias, right? I blocked her maybe like a year or two ago. And the reason why I blocked her was because we still had like mutual friends. And sometimes in people's like stories, they would post her and I could see it. And I'm like, I don't want to know this person still exists.
Right. Oh, that's how I feel. That's how I feel about Manic Pixie Dream Girl.
Yes.
Yep.
So she needs to be blocked. Not blocked on something like, oh, I don't want her to see it. I never want to see her name again. I never want to hear about her. I don't. Period. So I'm like, if you don't like me, and I fucking know you don't fucking like me, I actually don't know why you follow me. Same thing with like people from like my high school who were mean to me, who like follow me on Instagram and like watch every story I post. Are you okay? And I get like high school was like, you know, forever ago, but it's still weird because you didn't like me then, so what the fuck changed? I'm the same person. I'm the same person I was when I was 5 years old. I don't understand. And so what happens with that surveillance is I get uncomfortable. I deleted my Facebook because of one person. I deleted my Threads app because of that same person. And then Diana and I spoke, and she was like, you cannot go your whole life running away from this one fucking person. She's like, you're gonna ruin your life like that. And so I got back on the Threads app. But now I'm having backaches. And so, but it is such this, like, it's already uncomfortable.
Yes.
Just having to do that. Because yes, I am someone who talks a lot. I do come off as like an extrovert, but I actually love being by myself, actually. But I don't want to perform via social media. I want to perform on stage.
Right.
I want to perform in costume, singing and dancing. That's it. I don't want to, which was partially why I didn't want to do a podcast, because I also felt like I actually don't want you to hear my thoughts. I don't. You can hear my thoughts in my music, which brings me to the next thing. I think I have ADHD because I just went through like 8 thoughts.
No, I'm here. I'm following everything you're saying. Okay, that's how I know I got it too. No, it got me.
You know when people say like, oh, separate the art from the artist. Let me say this. I think you can do that with any other art except for music. And that is because this is very specific to people who write their own songs, right? Like Whitney Houston, who doesn't write her own songs. I think you can separate that. Diddy's never written a word in his fucking life. We can separate that. But most artists are, if they're not writing it themselves, they're in the room while it's being written. They're talking to the writer to tell them what they're
feeling and thinking.
Right. That song, they're singing it because they can relate to it. That art is them. My music is me.
Right.
There is no separating my music from me.
Right.
Even if I'm talking about something I haven't personally experienced, it's because someone else in my life has, and that person is close to me, or it's something that I think maybe I could have done in a past life or in a future life, whatever. But some aspect of it is me. Mm-hmm. And that's why I'm singing it. That's why I'm writing it. I think it's completely different if you are an actor, because you're creating a character that isn't really you.
Right.
And that's for funsies.
But it's like if a poet, like a poet or a writer is a great example. Because it's like, if you're a poet and you're writing poetry about abhorrent, like complete disgusting things. And people are like, oh, I can separate the art from the artist. No, because their entire job is to write things from their brain, is to create things from their brain.
Yes.
If I'm a songwriter and my entire job is to write songs or sing songs that I relate to, and I'm not exactly the type of artist that likes to sing songs that somebody else wrote for me completely. I feel like I have to have my hand in it, you know? If I can't see a piece of myself in it, like, I'm not going to sing it, really, you know? So I 100% get that. Yeah. 100% get that. It's...
But yeah, I think that was, and I think that played like a major part just in career because I didn't want to do the social media thing. And then on top, like, I remember when I did my very first show, my first, like, you know, solo concert, I sold out. And I remember I had like 1,200 followers on Instagram. And there was another girl that I wrote for. And she had, I think, 400,000 followers. And she did a concert and 11 people came. And I was like, yeah, I feel like I actually don't need to do social medias because I'm proving myself right here. But then you walk into an office and they're like, oh, come back when you have 1 million followers. If I had 1 million followers, do you think I'd be in your fucking office?
Right, exactly.
You'd be in mine.
Right.
I'm coming to you because I don't have that. What's not fucking, it's not clocking to you? I'm standing on fucking business, bitch.
Shout out to Justin Bieber. His album's coming out tomorrow.
Oh, I'm so excited.
I know. He just randomly said some shit.
So excited.
No, that has been a growing frustration for me, I think, because I fought social media so hard for so long. And then TikTok came around, I started speaking my mind, and people were like, oh my God, I like her. And then I was like, okay, well, I need money to make music so that they don't only know me for my mouth, but they know that the mouth can sing.
Yeah.
And, I forgot to mention this in my Light as a Feather.
Yes.
Let me add this in. I've realized that for me specifically, I've found a sweet spot that I'm still trying to navigate, but it's still a sweet spot where I post on social media, but the goal is my craft, right? But that doesn't mean that what I do is in vain. Like, that doesn't mean that the things I post are fake or in vain or not real or true. When I was teaching my Mommy and Me class yesterday in the morning, after having a really horrific day, and after having a meeting with multiple people and feeling like, okay, maybe I'm on the right track. Like, maybe I know what I'm doing. A nanny that was in my Mommy and Me, or not even my Mommy and Me class. She was there with an older kids class, and like, caretakers don't even sit in on that class, but she just happened to be there. She took a video of me, like, talking to the kids and singing to the kids. Sends it to the mother. 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes go by. She calls me over and she goes, you're a singer. I'm like, maybe this is the bitch with my voodoo doll right here. She goes, you're a singer, right? And I was like, I am. And she goes, the mother knows you. And I go, what? She goes, I sent a picture and a video of you with the kids. And this is what the mother said. And she showed me their text thread. And the mother was just like, oh my God, I love her so much. I watch her content all the time, almost every day. She's got the most incredible voice, incredible music. Tell her that I'm such a big fan. And like, I took a moment where I was like, at times I hate social media so deeply for so many like bigger picture reasons. You know what I mean? Like, I hate the fact that people don't have constructive conversations on there. It's very difficult to get through like a solid point or have good conversation. Yeah. But I love the visibility for people that wouldn't have gotten it. Yeah. Because without TikTok, I wouldn't have gotten it. Like, I don't think I would have. And so I was like, for that moment, I was like, you know what? I am a little grateful for it. I'm grateful that I found my way in it, you know? And I'm grateful that you found your way in it too.
Slowly.
Yeah. Slowly. But I know you feeling so unsure about this podcast, like, I know I felt like I wanted to push you just because, like, as your friend and like working with you and you seeing me from TikTok and then like we became friends. That's how we met, was through social media.
To TikTok.
Through TikTok. But also being like, yo, I feel like Kat's like, the only way to like describe this without feeling too like corny is like, I felt like astonished where I was like, yo, why hasn't like, people aren't noticing like this pot of gold right now. Like that's how I felt, not only as like a friend, but as a person and as a creative. I was like, this is crazy. Like people have to know her. Like this is wild. I have a
friend who said that I am the music industry's best kept secret.
You are.
And then I also learned, and this takes me into you never know who the fuck is watching you. Mm-hmm. I remember this kid who worked at a record label, and we'll call the record label Blind Peanut Butter.
That's really good. If you think really hard, you know exactly what label that is.
Yeah. And they said that part of their job there was to watch me. Because at the time, and I talked about this on a previous episode, I had a song that was a theme song on VH1. And then my songs, just like the whole EP, were doing pretty well across like VH1, MTV, Bravo, like they were getting played on like a lot of
big networks.
Yes,
right.
And TV shows and stuff. And so his job was just to be like watching me see like, and just to watch and see how big I might get. And I'm like, that's a waste of time. Why not just fucking call me?
Why not just sign me?
Right. Like we could have done something
incredible.
Truly. But instead you're like, I'll just wait for her to do it on her own. Let me tell you something about me.
That's what so much labels do now.
I hold grudges.
Right.
Okay? So if you had the opportunity to help me before and then something pops off, no. I will be like, absolutely the fuck. I don't care who you are. No. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Why would you do that to me?
Right.
That's so weird. Just call me.
That's the one thing that I'm frustrated with I think the music industry right now is like, there's no artist development and promotion anymore.
That
like
part too.
Where like I feel like right now I have a pretty good idea of what my brand as Diana is. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, but I could have arrived at this 5 years ago.
Right.
But I just I don't know them I'm not anti-label, so I don't want to come off as that. Same. Because labels do so much, and the people that work at labels are really, really, they work their asses off.
They do.
You know? But there is like a frustration, I think, for a lot of artists that are at labels where they're like, I'm doing so much work that really just like doesn't feel like it's my job.
Yeah.
And mind you, when I did my deal with Spotify from social media, listen to this. You really don't know who's freaking watching you. I got a deal with Spotify because a production company that Spotify hired to do a segment for their sister or their child company Soundtrap, they saw a video of me. I had already had, I think, like 300,000 followers, right? Mm-hmm. They saw a video of mine that had like less than 1,000 views. I was going to delete it. I kept it up.
Wow.
They reached out to me based off of that video.
Wow.
Because I tagged independent artist. Mm-hmm. I hashtagged it. And they brought me in for this live streaming thing on Twitch where like an artist creates her own music based using Soundtrap. Shout out to Soundtrap. They treat me amazing. I didn't know that this like rollout was going to be playing in the Spotify headquarters.
Wow.
So they were watching it in Spotify headquarters, either in New York or in Sweden or wherever. They go, bring her in again for a second episode. They brought me in again for a second episode. And they said, we want to invite you to the headquarters. And then they offered me a 10 video deal.
That's fucking amazing.
For a large chunk of money. It's still the biggest partnership I've ever gotten. It was the greatest one I ever gotten. And then I think Soundtrap like went out on its own and branched away from Spotify, from whatever. But it's like that, you don't know who's watching you.
Yeah.
And it's off of a video that like, that was at a time also when my videos, every single one, it was in my PSA video, so every single video was getting 20,000, 30,000 views, and that one did not. So, yeah,
Well, yeah, my deal with Viacom, which is VH1 and MTV, that was just someone followed me on Twitter.
Yeah.
Someone who worked at MTV followed me on Twitter.
It is so frustrating how much social media matters and how much we feel like we naturally hate it, but we also love it.
Hate it? Yeah.
It is real. If you were a social media app, which one would you be?
Okay.
A social media app. Yeah.
I think I'd be TikTok. TikToked. I think I'd be TikTok.
You sound like my mom. My mom calls it a tick-a-taka.
A TikTok. That's what I call it.
The tick-a-taka.
TikTok. What would you be?
What would I be? Ooh, I feel like I would be, if I was a social media app. Maybe just a media app?
Okay.
I don't know. Oh, I feel like, you know what? I feel like I'd be Tumblr.
Oh,
I feel like
God,
I'd be Tumblr.
I loved Tumblr. Loved.
I was a mess when I was on Tumblr.
I went viral for one pic, and like you can't see my face, and people like still use that picture. But the funny thing is, you can kind of tell it's me.
Oh,
if you know me. But it's just.
I feel like if you showed me the picture, I would
just
definitely.
like.
Oh wait! I feel like I know. I feel like you have to show me the picture, but I feel like I'm envisioning it like deep in the corners of my brain. When I was on Tumblr, when I was much younger, I'm happy I don't use it anymore, but I was in a very depressed state, and it was when Tumblr was really into like the big emo.
Yeah, I loved it.
Things that I can't really like say or else it's gonna trigger people, but really triggering things. And it was like my alter ego. Like I was Hannah Montana, and I had like a ton of followers.
Yeah,
a ton of followers, and I would write really depressing things because I was very emotionally depressed. I was emotionally shut down. I think I was 15 or 16. I was not okay at that time. Like I look back at who I was at 15 and 16, and the fact that nobody checked on me, like, fuck everyone, because that was not okay.
Older people think if you're a teenager, like, you've got nothing to worry about, you're fine, which, actually, when you're done, I want to say something.
Oh, cool. No, okay. So, the only thing I'm going to say is that there was this one person, and I wish I didn't get locked out of my Tumblr, but I had a ton of followers on my Tumblr because it was all that emo, and it was all grunge and whatever, and, like, that's kind of why I have a bit of like a darker aura today too. I do have like a little like edge. I love that. But there was this one account, I'll never forget it. I'll never forget what the person looked like. For 2 years straight, no, I would say like 18 months, they sent me like beautiful messages every single day. And they were just like, you're cared about, you're loved, you're a light, you are this, you're that. They don't know me. I've never posted a picture of myself on Tumblr. They never knew. I just kind of posted my thoughts and posted other people's pictures and stuff. And like, I will never forget that this person, this stranger, was committed to making another stranger feel loved and cared about for like 18 months straight. And it was like an everyday thing. And I'll never forget it. I don't know who this person was. I don't even have the account anymore. But I'll never forget that. I wish I can go back into my account.
That's so beautiful.
I would 100% be Tumblr. I'm such like a little emo queen.
I love that.
Like, blast Evanescence at my funeral.
Oh, hell fucking yeah.
Wake me up inside. Yeah, that'd be me.
Wake me up.
Yo, I used to drive down the beach on Long Island. Like, I would be on Ocean Parkway just blasting Evanescence.
I literally was listening to them on the way here. So it's actually really, like, funny that you're...
I would love to make a song like that.
Oh!
Like a dark pop rock. Oh, we should do that.
I'm here for it.
Oh my God.
Remember, I made a pop rock?
Yes!
Now you got a song about it.
Now you have a song about you? You guys have to go listen to this song by Kat, because it's really, really good.
Thank you.
Yeah,
It is my favorite song that I've ever written.
I think it's so good. Okay, wait, what were you going to say about older people looking at teenagers that are going through things?
Oh, well, it was just about kids in general. I saw someone post that now that the kids are home from school, all of a sudden they don't have a tummy ache anymore and blah, blah, blah. It's funny. But
That's actually funny.
I do want to say this. Sometimes the reason why your kid is having a tummy ache at school is because they are in an uncomfortable environment. They are in unsafe territory. Either the teachers, the other students, whatever it might be. When I was in first grade, was it first grade or second grade? I was 7, so I know that much. I had an ulcer.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And I was sick at school every day for like 2 weeks, and my mom just thought I was like...
a liar.
Yeah. She's just like, okay, you can't be throwing up every day. I was throwing up, and then I was throwing up blood. And then she had to take me to the doctor. And the doctor made my mother leave the room to ask me, is your mother abusing you at home? Why the fuck does a 7-year-old have an ulcer? And it was because of my grandma. Yeah.
Missed a generation, buddy.
Yeah.
One more.
Not my mom. In fact, my mom probably has an ulcer too. Might want to check on her.
Oh my god. No, yeah, you know what? Bring my mom back in here. Do what you just did on me to her.
Right, because we both had the same bully, okay? And so, yes, sometimes it's the environment that they are in that's making them feel sick. Sometimes they're lying. Sometimes they just want to be at home.
Yeah.
Sometimes they just don't want to be at school. Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes they're bored. But there's always some kind of a reason. Like, I know this lady who her son, he acts up and he displays, bad behavior. And I'm like, yeah, because he's a creative. Mm-hmm. And he wants to be in a school of arts.
Right.
And you've got him with a bunch of people who don't have the same brain capacity or brain process or think the same or create the same as him. And he's fucking bored.
Right.
And because he's bored, he's going to not pay attention. Mm-hmm. And so he's going to fail the fucking class.
Listen, I have a cousin. Mm-hmm. Well, my cousin's kid. My cousin Patty, who's my oldest cousin, who I love so dearly. That's my girl. 2 black sheep. I got you, sister friend. She's, yeah, I love her. And her oldest son, her oldest son, Andrew, her oldest child, Ashley, is doing fantastic. And I love her to death. But Andrew, he just graduated college and he is now going to, I forgot which university, I want to say the University, Virginia Tech, someplace in Virginia, where they are paying for his full ride. And not only paying for him to go to college, but they're actually paying him money to go.
Amazing.
And to learn.
Amazing.
To basically be like an astrophysicist, right?
Wow.
Now,
congratulations.
Oh, yeah. And Andrew, I remember when Andrew was 3. Mm-hmm. I remember when he was much, much younger, he was always incredibly smart. Mm-hmm. He was spelling words that I didn't know how to spell as like a 10-year-old or something. Like, he was spelling Tyrannosaurus Rex and putting the pieces like in I can't
spell that now.
But I just remember him always being extremely smart, and like you would think when a mother is like bragging about her kids, like, oh, she's bragging about him, but people thought like, oh, he's not listening in class, and they were gonna like take him out and put him in a different class. Mm-hmm. They were gonna take him out and put him on medication or whatever the case may be. They were gonna do all these different things. The reality was he was bored. Mm-hmm. He was bored. This was nothing to him. He was thinking 2 or 3 years ahead of all the other kids.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, if you would have taken him out of that or done something different or put him on some sort of, and I'm not against medication, by the way. Medication is definitely necessary for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But if you did maybe make a rash decision or a judgment on a child without fully knowing the full picture, who knows if he would have been in the position now?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And once he's done with whatever he's doing, he's never going to be done because he's one of those minds that always has to work. But he's going to be set for life.
For sure. I went through this in high school. So I went to, really 2 different high schools. But the first one I went to, Preston. Incredible high school. Very, obsessed with how well you were doing in school. When I was a freshman, because it's an all-girls school, so you get assigned, a junior sister. My junior sister was already on her fucking way to Harvard Med by junior year of high school.
Wow.
Okay? I was in a school where, the education, they gave a fuck. I was thinking. The only reason why I probably read so much and I have all these fun facts was the teachers I had at Preston. Specifically, Mrs. Cullen, who had the cutest Irish accent you've ever heard in your fucking life.
No.
She taught history. And she taught history twice. She would tell you, this is what your textbook says, but this is actually what it really is. Mm-hmm. Loved her to death. So she made me very curious. Then I switched to another high school I won't say the name, but back in the day, this school was like, you know, top fucking notch. So I think when I was there in the 2000s, in the 2000s, people thought it was still the school it was in like the 70s and 80s. I was incredibly bored in that school. My grades were still good, but I didn't care.
Yeah.
I wasn't paying attention. I did not give two fucks. The things I was learning senior year in science, I was learning freshman year in Preston.
Wow. I will never forget how I got detention for the first time in 6th grade.
What'd you do?
Listen to this shit.
Okay.
This is what pisses me off, I think, a lot about schools, like in this country. I mean, I don't know other countries, but this is what pisses me off about the education system as a whole. My 6th grade was in our middle school, so in our public school district, our elementary school stopped at 5th grade. They changed that a couple of years before I graduated elementary school. 6th grade, we're getting with all the kids from all the other elementary schools, and it was, you know, the first time where I was like really taking a risk in like my style, my fashion. I never really cared about it before, but now I had an interest in fashion. It was really hot out, and the only shorts I had were Abercrombie shorts. I really wanted to wear them, not because they were comfortable or necessarily like, I don't know, looked that great on me. They were a little too small on me, honestly, but it was because like I didn't grow up with money and all the other girls had money and they had Abercrombie shorts, and like my mother would never in a million fucking years buy me those shorts. And
you were excited.
Yeah, I was excited. I wore leggings under the shorts, which was like a thing for us, for some of us.
That was a thing for a time.
For a second.
That was a thing for a time. Yeah.
We wore leggings under the shorts, and I wore like a tank top. A tank top that had thick straps, but it wasn't a tank top that was fabric strapped. It was just the elastic.
Okay.
I got detention for that. For my shorts and my tank top. And I remember this woman, Miss Hare, I'll never forget it because she made me feel so embarrassed, and she also made me feel very objectified for it.
We've mentioned Miss Hare before.
Have we?
Bitch.
Yeah. And it was also the first year that I've ever felt objectified by boys. It was the first year that I found out that I had a fat ass. First time ever. I was about to say something. It was the first time I found out that I had a fat ass and that having a big ass mattered.
Okay. By
a guy that a couple of years later I would then lose my virginity to.
Oh. Was he a nice guy?
He's got a good heart.
Okay.
I don't know if he's nice, but he's got a good heart.
Okay.
It was in a shed next to a lawnmower. So.
All right. Well, I won't tell you where I lost mine. Don't worry about it.
So, he basically like but she sent.
It's fine.
You loved him?
We were in love. I'm very happy that I gave
Look at you.
him his. We'll call.
I
him,
grew up in a Euphoria-esque high school and neighborhood.
We'll call my ex Kevin because he'll probably come up again at some point, and I have a lot of like respect for like his family and him and stuff. Yeah, I'm really happy that I lost it to him.
Good for you.
We were in love. We were.
I'm so happy you had. I'm so happy that you had a nice experience. Kat, you lost it where?
Yeah.
Kat, that's crazy.
Yeah. His friend worked there.
If you guys heard what Kat just said to me, I'm like, truly, wow.
Yeah. Shout out to Kevin.
All right.
Or Kevin. We'll call him Kevin.
All right. Good for you, Kevin. I'll call this motherfucker out by name. All right, Salvatore. So, but you know what? I've always had respect for this kid Sal because he's always been a grinder. Like he's always been like an entrepreneur. We knew that we were creatives as children. He always was going to be an entrepreneur. Like even like during snow days, he didn't even live
during snow days.
No, because he didn't even live in my neighborhood, and he was putting flyers in people's cars in my neighborhood on my street to clean their driveways, to clean their garages, to mow their lawns, to whatever. Like no matter what. So. And now he does home remodeling, I think, with his little brother Johnny. But anyways, so Yeah, Miss Hair literally gave me detention and made me go home to change when I had leggings underneath my shorts. I was completely covered head to toe. And it was really traumatic for me because it was my first introduction, I think, into
being sexualized as
being
a child?
sexualized, but also being understanding like the inequities between girls and boys. Because the same day we were in middle school, and I walked past the field, and all of the boys had their shirts off. And I just remember being like, I'm covered from my clavicle to my ankles. Whether I have shorts on or not, I'm still covered. But all of these boys are out here with their shirts off and waving them around after gym class.
Right.
And I remember feeling like that's so unfair. And I think that was kind of like my first introduction to my own version of feminism. I had to get through a male validation phase and male center phase first. You know, high school was a whole nother ballgame for me. Gross. If you ever knew me in high school, I'm so sorry. But like, that was I go back to that time frequently, and I was like, yeah, wow, that's really crazy. I was 12. Wow. I was 12. I wasn't even a teenager yet. You know, so.
You know what? That actually reminds me when I was in junior high school, and I like, you know, had gotten my period, and it was like still really new, so I didn't have like a cycle yet or things like that. And I remember I was in gym class, and like I felt like I wanted to throw up. And the gym teacher was a man, of course, and was like, oh, if your stomach hurts, you just need to keep running.
Oh my God, what a psycho.
So I ended up like running to the bathroom because I did throw up. Like I felt like I needed to throw up. And when I came back, apparently like my whole pants was like red. And like people were laughing at me except for this one kid who were still cool. So I'll say his name, David. David went into the office and bought me a fresh pair of like gym sweatpants. And by the way, they weren't cheap, but they were like $60. And he went and bought me like a fresh pair of pants, and like he said, hey, there's like some blood. He's like, I think you got your period. You know, just go change.
I want to raise a David. If I raise a boy, I want to raise a David.
David was very, very sweet. And he's honestly still like super sweet. Like when we've, you know, exchanged, you know, Facebook DMs or whatever.
You know,
yeah.
I feel I have an interesting relationship with my high school experience because it is such formative years, and
fuck high school.
There are so many people from my high school that like I was not close friends with in high school. Obviously we were like acquaintances or whatever, but we touch base in adulthood, and I'm like, you know, they're more my people in adulthood. And like I was a part of like, you know, this very, you know, the going out crowd, the drunk crowd, the partying crowd. We were like the cool kids or whatever, but like none of those people really knew my heart. They knew me, and I loved them, and I spent so much time with them. And I think I have a hard time grappling with the fact that I had all of these friends without high school, but I don't have much to show for it because, you know, I just don't feel like they really, I was going through a lot. I didn't feel heard. I was going through a lot of family stuff, and I don't think my friends were really the best fit for me. And but there's a piece of me that's grateful for that, because then I would have stayed. If I felt like I was really, really close with them, I would have stayed, and I would have been more miserable. You know what I mean? Like, I love the fact that I didn't have anything to stay for, and I was ready to go. And one time, after I was living in the city, I went back home for like a year to save up money. And I went to one party, and I went over to one girl's house, and this was all in the span of a week. I went to a party, I went to one girl's house, whatever. The party, I just remember feeling like, you guys are still stuck in high school. It's like a year didn't even pass for you. And thank God that those people who hit their prime in high school are still there, sucking face with the same people they did when they were 12. Stay there. It's where you're best. Don't ever go and congregate with anybody, seriously.
Actually, you know, there's a couple of girls I know from high school who, like, they're all still friends. And I think a lot of times people hear that, like, oh, we've all been friends since high school, since kindergarten. People are like, that's amazing. It sounds like you never grew up, actually.
And if you put these people in, and I see this with people in my family, if you put these people in situations where they're in an environment that is not the same bar they always go to or not the same group of friends they always go to. They are so unbelievably socially awkward. And I'm like, are you okay? How do you not know how to have a conversation with somebody that you don't know? Yeah. Like, that's wild to me. And I pity people for that. I feel bad for that. Yeah. I'm like, you don't know how to make friends?
Yeah.
What's going on here?
Like, I still have friends that I've known for years, but it's a matter of, like, growing. We haven't traveled. We haven't met other people. We don't know ourselves yet.
Right.
And I think that's such a major part of it. Even with, like, relationships, when people tell me, like, oh, like, they married their high school sweethearts.
Please. So there's this video, and I mean, I hate to do this, guys, but I have to say it. I know we're going a long time here, but I gotta say it. There was this video of Charlie Kirk, who I can't stand the man's face. He's saying, like, women need to find their husband before 25. Okay. Your frontal lobe does not fully develop until you are 26. Right. So if you are telling people before they fully understand how they feel and how their brain works, to go and find somebody to spend and commit the rest of your life with, that, and you're not saying that to men. I think that I'm not saying that you can't find your high school sweetheart. I definitely think that you can. If you truly want to stay in the same place and you're happy there and you're happy with each other, I think that is beautiful and stunning and amazing. I know high school sweethearts, but those are genuinely people where I'm like, you're meant to be a high school sweetheart. Yeah. You're meant.
Fran Drescher and her husband, even though he's gay now, they're divorced. But they're, like, best friends.
Right, but you're supposed to, yes.
They're obsessed with, like, but they were meant to be.
Right. They were
meant to be. Even if it was just for a short time, they were meant to be.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. And that's, like, I just think you are doing yourself such a disservice. And the divorce rate is substantially higher when you marry below the age of 25. So don't, because then you realize I will say this, I did not become the person that I loved about myself. I am the version or becoming the version of myself that my, like, 10-year-old me always wanted to be. She wanted to be glamorous. She wanted to be over the top. She wanted to be this. She wanted to be that. I did not start to become that person until I was 26. I'm 28 now. I did not fully step into that until I was 25, 26, when my frontal lobe was like, Phew. So
mine was, like, last year. And I am also 26.
Yeah, girl. Yeah.
Obviously.
But yeah, growth is good. Growth is great.
Yeah. And I've had my little cousins, they're not little, but, like, my younger cousins who are, like, you know, in their 20s and thinking, like, they needed to be married, like, straight out of college.
We all thought that. Why did we
they're telling me, like, my friends got married. I'm like, your friend's gonna get a divorce in 12 months. Be fucking for realsies. But then one of those cousins said to me, she goes, she was trying to, like, be nice about it, but, you know, it was still weird. She basically asked me, like, how I feel getting married at, like, an older age. And I was like, well, I'm not 50s. I do think older people take a shorter time to get married because at that point they both know what they want.
Right, like, they're like, I'm done. Like, what am I going to wait around for? You know
like,
what I mean?
If I was 40, and very close, but if I was 40 and, like, I met a guy and, like, I'm not waiting 15 years. 6 months, no. I'll figure out whether he's the one or not, and then after, like, a year and a half, like, we can get engaged. Right. But, you know, I met Caleb in my early 20s, and he had a lot of growing up to do. A lot of growing up to do. And
oh, Caleb.
And I had a lot of self-love to figure out.
Yeah.
And I just, you know, I watched my cousins who are younger who think, like, oh, I should get married now. And I'm like, you don't even know yourself. You don't even love yourself. You're not even, like, it's just not the right time. I don't ever want my kids to feel pressured to get married because they're a certain age. Hell no.
You know what's funny too? Like, my mom, I think she got married at 31, 32. And the way she describes her and my dad getting married is like, she was like, I was always the bridesmaid and never the bride. I was like, you were 31. She goes, I was old. Like, compared to everyone else, I was ancient, and everybody thought she was going to marry some other dude named Neil. Whatever. Everyone thought she was going to marry Neil. He came from a good family. He was super Italian. Her mother wanted to marry him because he was whatever.
Yeah.
That old Sicilian thing. And he didn't like how free my mother was. My mother worked for the airline. He wanted my mother to stop working altogether.
Be at home.
And my mom was like, I will not do that. Like, my mom fell in love with working for the airline because she felt so free. She's a middle child. And my mother traveled the world. And then her and my father met on a blind date. And that her cousin Marion set them up on. Oh, God, my dad is such a swooner too. Like, my dad, like, really, he makes an effort for my mom, like, which is so crazy because, like, I've had so many qualms with their marriage. But one thing that my dad is not is, like, a lazy husband.
Yeah.
Like, when it comes to their relationship, like, he puts in an effort to always tell my mother, because he knows that my mother can go out and get anybody.
Yeah.
Like, my mom at her 67-year-old age
She absolutely
gets hit on now.
Yeah.
And that's aura. That's all energy and all aura. Like,
100%.
if there's one thing about my mother, she's got freaking aura.
Yeah.
And
it's
I don't want to air out her dirty laundry or anything, but my mom, she goes to community meetings for something, and I went in one time with her where, like, family was allowed in, and, like, these people kept coming up to me, and they were, like, trying to be my dad. Like, they were just like, we love your mom. I was like, whoa. But it's amazing to me that, like, my mom was 31, and she felt like an old maid. And I want to also preface that all of my mother's friends who married really young are all divorced. And my mother is still with my dad.
Every time.
Well,
But,
we touched on a lot today.
We sure did.
We had, like, a little bit of a lengthy episode here.
We did.
I kind of love it. Any last words?
Go with God. I don't know.
My last word is, remember at the beginning of this episode where I said I look down on men because they can't hold in their pee?
Okay.
I've held it in for a very long time. Because why? Because I'm a woman. Because I believe in feminism.
Please go pee.
Thank you so much. All right.
All right. Bye.
I love you guys. Subscribe, follow, all the things. All the things. And also, you can't see me in the camera. Also, follow our Facebook page because that's popping off lately.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
I gotta go. All right.
Bye.